Welcome back, kindergarten through second graders. This lesson is for the weeks of March 1st and March 8th, and it's due Friday, March 12th, right before spring break. All right, I'm super excited about this one. We are going to be doing this silly sock. Okay? And you can also see it has a silly shoe. All right. There's a link for 2 shoes. And if you have a printer, you can open them up, print them off, and one shoe looks like this, and one looks like a Converse kind of shoe. Okay. If you can't print them off, you could just draw your own shoe. So that's one option, but this is a little bit easier if you're able to print them off, okay? What we are going to be doing is we are going to be exploring or learning about fashion design. So we're going to be creating our own, designing our own socks and shoes and creating patterns using lines, shapes, and colors. Okay? So if you look at the example here, you can see that this example has lots of patterns. It has stripes, pizza slices, paw prints, checkers, flowers, wavy lines, polka dots, all kinds of things. So you have lots of options when it comes to your patterns. You're going to start off with a shoe like this. Sorry about that. And you're going to start by drawing a line to make your sock. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to draw a line from this end of my shoe up and from the end of your shoe up to make a leg, like that. Okay, easy enough? All right. Now I would like to divide this sock into parts in some way. One way you could do it is by just using maybe 2 finger spaces and draw a line, 2 finger spaces, draw a line, 2 finger spaces, draw a line, and now you have your sock divided up into parts. You can be fancier with the way you divide up your spaces, but this way you have different patterns in each section. Okay? Now you're going to start coming up with patterns. Now you can come up with different line patterns like wavy lines, zigzag lines, curly lines, or maybe some shapes, circles, triangles, hearts, different things. I have here a page with some patterns on it as examples. You could pause this video and leave it right here at these patterns and use some of these patterns in your design. I'm going to go ahead and use a few of these myself. So I'm, for instance, going to start at the top of my sock and I'm going to use these little swirls. So I'm going to take my pencil and draw some swirls, and I'm going to fill that space with swirls. Swirls all over. Okay, maybe even some little ones in the corners. So now I have swirls, and then I think to change things up, I'm going to use a line pattern. I think I'm going to use these wavy lines with these little polka dots, and I'm going to put those right here. Oh, I didn't add any polka dots. I can add them right here, and maybe ones right here, and maybe some polka dots here. Okay, got a pattern there. The next one I might add is, I kind of like these clouds here, so I'm going to add some clouds. You can add any patterns you want. Be creative. And then maybe I want to add some diagonal stripes. Okay, and then maybe down here I can also add some patterns to my shoes. Maybe I want to add some zigzag lines, maybe a wavy line, maybe some circles. Anything that looks interesting to you. Maybe some vertical lines, maybe some flowers. You're just filling the shoe with all kinds of designs. Okay, maybe a little plaid. Okay, you could pause the video, you can work on that. When you're done, you're going to, I prefer to take a black marker and Sharpie all the lines. So anywhere I see pencil, I would just go over that with a black marker. So all of my patterns, all of my horizontal lines, so that it looks something like this. Okay, so you can see this one's all been Sharpied. Okay, if you need to pause the video while you are Sharpieing your lines, feel free to do that. So you can see this one's all Sharpied and it's ready to go. Those black lines are really going to make our colors stand out. Now, you have lots of options when it comes to coloring this in. You can use markers, crayons, colored pencils, anything you want. I'm actually going to use a combination of markers, some thin markers, and some crayons. And when you start coloring this in, I really want you to think of the objects being a color, like these clouds, and then the background being a different color. And also, if you have something that has repeated patterns like this, in between each of these, I want these to be a different color. You could maybe make a pattern like 2 colors, or maybe a rainbow of colors. So let me demonstrate. So I'm going to start with these little clouds here, and I'm going to make them this pretty light blue. I'm going to color them in. And these objects are really going to stand out. Okay, now that I've colored in the objects, then I want to color behind the objects. Now I could use a marker if I want, but I'm actually going to use a crayon. And I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to color the back behind it another color, so I'm going to use yellow. So that really makes those blue clouds stand out. Okay. The more colors you use and the more carefully you color, the prettier it's going to look when you're done. All right, as far as these stripes go, I just want to make a pattern, so I'm just going to pick 2 colors. I'm going to use this blue violet, and then I'm going to use, I think this orange would look really nice with this blue violet. So I'm going to go ahead and color this stripe. Oh, my crayon just broke, that's okay. This blue violet, and then I'm going to skip and do this one also because I'm going to put orange in between. So I'm going to do this one. And I like to press hard with my crayons so the colors look nice and bright. And then I'm also going to do this bottom one. All right, and then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make these orange. So now I have this really fun color combination. You're going to keep going down through your silly sock and through your shoe, creating patterns. And when you're done, you'll have something this one's not quite done yet, but you can see I'm starting to really build up this shoe here, making it very colorful. When it's finished, you can see this one has different colors for the objects, and then the background's a different color. You can tell that my stripes and things have patterns on them. When you are done, you can either be done with this and just leave it as is, but I think it's kind of fun to go ahead and glue it on a colored piece of paper. So if you do have construction paper at home, I think it's fun to go ahead and cut it out. Now pretend this one's completely finished. This one's not quite done. Just needs a couple extra steps. It's much easier to color it while it is not cut up and then cut it out after at the very end. Okay? So you would just cut it out and glue it onto your background paper. If you don't have extra paper, you can just maybe color the background of the white paper. That's fine too. Maybe make a pattern, a design or something on the background. And then you'll just glue it on. And I usually glue it all the way at the top so that the leg looks like it continues and goes on. Okay, so here is one that is finished. You can see this one's been glued onto a piece of paper and it looks amazing. All right, I hope you enjoy this project. Please take a picture of it and send it to my email. I look forward to seeing your designs. Have a great day. Bye.